When angry, count to 10. If very angry, count to 100. These are not my words. These are the words of Thomas Jefferson. My name is Emamiri Wanjiko, and I usually talk about aromatherapy, which is the use of essential oils to attain holistic wellness. I'm a certified clinical aromatherapist. In the year 2021, my husband and partner of 10 years passed away due to COVID-19 and left me with 3 kids who were all under the age of 10 years. That's the time I felt my worst anger because on top of my grief, the in-laws stand against me. There's a thing we do in the African culture where when a man dies, you tend to intimidate the widow who's left. So in a bid to disinherit me, they had to come up with all types of accusations, including how do we know whether you're the one who killed our son or not? All that happened to me. And it was that year that I felt the worst anger of my life. I was angry with God for allowing this young man to pass away with only young kids, leaving behind a very young family. I was only 36 years old. I was angry with the in-laws. I was angry with society. And thank God, at that point of anger, thank God, I took positive measures instead of reacting. I decided to empower myself. I decided to move away and live away in a peaceful environment, empowering myself and fending for my kids. Now, before we go deep into that, let us look at some of the things that come with anger. What is anger? And what are the elements that you can expect with anger? Now, as I was doing my research, I came across an article by a guy named Nicolas Serrano. I found this article on LinkedIn. I don't know whether it's available on other platforms. Nicolas Serrano is a certified anger management specialist who has 10 elements that have to do with anger. And the article is titled The 10 Unexpected Facts About Anger. We all get angry. This is not a crime. I think God inbuilt that emotion in us for a purpose. And the first thing, there are 10 elements. The first thing in the list of 10 is that anger is not inherently bad. This means that anger has its place and it serves a purpose. It is only if you understand it that you can fully resolve it. So understand that getting angry is not a bad thing. However, what you do with your anger is what matters. Number 2, anger is an emotion with physiological effects. Yes, physiological effects are effects on your body. When you get angry, you tend to have a faster heartbeat. You also tend to sweat on your palms. You can even feel a bit in your stomach. All those are physical symptoms of anger. So it is more serious than you can expect. It engages our nervous system, and the fight or flight mechanism also is at play when you have anger. And that's worth noting. Number 3, anger can motivate you. And this is a very true fact. Anger can motivate you. In my case, when the in-laws stand against me after the death of my husband in 2021, I was motivated to make it. And I thank God I was not motivated in the negative. I was motivated to fend for my family, to show them that I can raise my kids without their help, without their properties and all that. So anger, when used properly, can motivate you very well. In fact, there was a show on TV. I don't know whether it's there. It was called Revenge Body. This is where you remember a negative incident in your life, then you tend, and it was a weight loss show. So you go work out and have a revenge body. Now that is some form of anger when put into positive action where it can motivate you to achieve even more. Anger can lead you to vindicate yourself. If there is injustice in your life, it can lead you to seek justice. Anger, if practiced properly. However, if you're seeking revenge, like actual revenge against people, that's a negative way to resolve anger. So number 4, humor. Humor can diffuse anger, and this is so true. If you find yourself angry with your workmates or you're in your relationship, if you crack a joke, it tends to diffuse all that anger, and this is a very effective way to resolve anger. Number 5, uncontrolled anger and angry outbursts are linked to heart attack and even stroke. This is so true. In the medical field, we know that hypertension or high blood pressure is brought about by anger in many instances. And if you have tendencies of angry outbursts, those people are linked with a higher level of stroke and even heart attack. So it's worth noting that. Number 6, things can trigger anger, not just people. Yes, people tend to make us angry most of the time, but also things. It can be noise pollution, for example. If you live in a place where there is construction going on, you may find yourself angry. Or if you have kids in the house and they tend to be loud and noisy and you're trying to work, you can find yourself angry. So it's not just people who will trigger anger, also things and the environment. Number 7, rest and relaxation. Rest and relaxation can quell anger. Yes. Sometimes when you're tired and you've not rested properly, you tend to be more angry. Sometimes when you are not even well fed, when you're hungry, you'll be angry. And you know what they say, a hungry man is an angry man. So look at all those elements in your life and see where your anger is coming from. Number 8, when you feel anger, examine the cause of that's the point we were making. Examine the cause of the problem. Sometimes people are angry and they don't know what is making them angry. It is good to examine the exact source of the anger. Number 9, aggression is anger in action. When a person is angry, for example, with their relationship or a partner, they find out that somebody is cheating on them, they might become violent against that person, and that is aggression. Aggression is anger in action. It is wise to use your anger with a lot of temperament. You have to temper your anger. You can go to the gym, you can do a physical activity instead of going in the negative. Remember, abusing somebody can land you in hot soup, so to speak. Number 10, anger teaches us our ability to cope. You find that there are people who, because of their disorganization or procrastination, you build up on frustration and eventually it becomes anger. So it's also an opportunity to examine your organization and find out how well you cope with your situation. You can organize better or find ways to better manage your stress so that you avoid the anger. Now, there are many essential oils that can help with anger management. And for me, my anger in the year 2021 and the years that followed, I have actively used aromatherapy to manage my anger. If I feel low, there are oils that I go to. I just inhale them and sniff them. And somehow you find that you feel so much better. But before we go into the actual essential oils and how aromatherapy can help your anger, if you're a Christian or if you're not, or if you're interested in the Bible, it's also good to find out what it says. What does God say about anger? And there are many verses that talk about anger, and I found like 7, but I'll quote three verses. Number 1 is Proverbs 29:22. Which says, a man of anger will stir strife, and the owner of anger much transgression. A man of anger will stir strife, and the owner of anger much transgression. So this just goes to show that a lot of anger pent up in your system is negative. Even God does not advocate for penting up your anger. Having too much anger can lead to transgression. Transgression is just doing the wrong things. And when it comes to the other verse, it's James chapter 1, 19-20. It says, understand this, my dear brothers and sisters, every person must be quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to anger. For human anger does not accomplish the righteousness of God. I think that one is self-explanatory. Another one I found interesting is Ephesians chapter 4, verse 25-32, which says, be angry and do not sin. Do not let the sun go down on your anger, and give no opportunity to the devil. So you can see anger leads to so much sins. You give yourself to the devil if you dwell in anger. You tend to do the wrong things when you don't manage your anger properly. So having said that, let's go direct to the essential oils that can calm and quell your anger in a positive way. Now, it is worth noting that practices like aromatherapy are holistic approaches to wellness, meaning you don't use drugs, you just use the natural elements like essential oils that God has created in nature. So before we go into the actual essential oils, let us look at some of the negatives, the effects of anger in our lives. They can lead to high blood pressure, which can result in stroke, heart attacks, body aches, digestive issues, skin issues, a host of things. In fact, anger can also make people severely unhappy. I'm sure you have seen people who are naturally angry, whose quality of life is so much lower compared to if they would have had some joy and less anger in their lives. Now, essential oils will work by balancing your emotions. Remember, essential oils, when you sniff them or when you inhale them, they work straight on the limbic system, that's the brain, to create better emotions, better balance, to improve your mood. So, some of the top essential oils to use are lavender, petit green, Roman chamomile, vetiver, bergamot, patchouli, black pepper, and I mean black pepper essential oil, ginger essential oil, and also clove essential oil. These have been proven to work on the emotion of anger effectively. Now, if you're wondering how you can incorporate these essential oils in your life to manage anger, you can use them in a massage oil. You can also use a personal inhaler, a home diffuser if you have one. That's the gadget that diffuses and spreads the mist in your room. You can also use a cotton ball. If you don't have a personal inhaler, you can carry the oil throughout the day and put 1 or 2 drops in your cotton ball, and then you can inhale as needed throughout the day. Now you'll notice these oils will instantly boost your mood or instantly change your focus from anger to something else, to something more positive, like the sweet aroma of bergamot, which is a citrus essential oil, very uplifting and can really work on your anger issues. Now, if you do this as a lifestyle, you create those positive channels in your brain, and aromatherapy works by making it a lifestyle. This is not a one thing. It's not a silver bullet. So you cannot use it once and expect long-term results. You have to encourage yourself to manage the problem holistically using aromatherapy in a continuous manner. Just a few drops if you're inhaling it, or you can just diffuse like 8 drops in your diffuser. Or if you're using a massage oil, make sure it is diluted. Essential oils should never be used directly on your skin because they will burn. Now you can do a patch test, which you just take the oil together with a diluted oil, maybe a massage oil, and you do a patch test, which we call it a patch test. You do on a small portion of your skin, and if you get any reaction, you'll know you are allergic to that particular oil. So those are very interesting oils to have. Now, for precaution, it's also good to use essential oils safely for people who are pregnant, lactating, and those who have underlying conditions, those who are under medication. It is good to confirm with your healthcare provider before using essential oils. Now, when it comes to using essential oils effectively and safely, if you have a question or if you have concerns, I do one-on-one consultation via WhatsApp. You can use my number provided, or you can even use my email to reach me. If you want an in-depth consultation, remember that aromatherapy has to be personalized. It has to be customized. It's not a one-size-fits-all. You may not like one essential oil, so we look for an alternative that will give you the best results in a safe and effective way. Now, I'll leave you with the words of Elizabeth Kenny. Very wise words, a famous quote about anger. And she says, "He who angers you conquers you." My prayer for you is that you may be whole and well.